I needed this opportunity. I needed some way to make income, and I honestly didn't believe this was it. I joined with the assumption that I could maybe make $300 a month and work part-time versus full-time. So I was overjoyed at month 3 when my paycheck had a comma in it. I was like, I'm never doing anything else. Like, this is it. So Ben definitely changed my mind about work from home opportunities.
That's exactly where I can relate to you there. I don't know if everybody knows this, but this is my second time with It Works. I don't know, it was probably 7 years ago or so. I had just got done. I was probably like a year or so out of nursing school. And sorry, Eric's popping popcorn in the background, so ignore that. Real life, right? So 7 or so years ago, my sister started with Cammie, and she was like, just do it with me. And I was like, whatever. So I did. I didn't really do anything. I didn't know what network marketing was. I didn't have any kids. I had just started being a nurse, and I was kind of more focused on that, and I never did anything with the business. So when I have people tell me they're not doing anything, they don't join anything, I'm like, I relate to that. Like, I was that person. I was young. I was dumb. I didn't know what network marketing was, and I didn't care. Like, I had a nursing job, and that's what I was going to do, you know? So last January of 2015, Cammie was messaging me while she was at conference, and I'm like, Cammie, dude, I don't want your network marketing. Get out of my face. I'm cool. But she played the baby card. I had just had a baby, and Jace was a month old at the time, and she's like, you don't want those babies being raised by other people, which, contrary to popular belief, Amber and I's kids go to the same daycare, and she's awesome. So not that I don't want them being raised by somebody else, I just wanted more time with them. And so I was like, whatever, it's $99 frickin' dollars. I spend $99 on dumb crap all the time. So we'll just try this. And well, April I went diamond and got the $10,000 bonus. And it's kind of just been awesome since then. You know, never in my wildest dreams would I say, I'm going to do this full time. I'm not going to be a nurse forever. But now I look at the nurses at my work who have been there for 40 years, and nobody, like, it doesn't matter that they've been there for 40 years. They've dedicated 40 years to this place, and it doesn't matter. You know, so and I don't want that. Like, I just want to, and I mean, obviously, those people have changed patients' lives and kids' lives and stuff, but, like, the hospital, it doesn't matter to them, you know? So anyways, that is about my spiel, I guess. So what Tracy and I kind of wanted to do tonight to start out with was, we want you guys to write down, right now, on your pen and paper or on your phone or somewhere, write down 7 reasons, even if you're brand new, 7 reasons why you love It Works. I'm going to be writing them too, so give you a minute or two. Okay, so I have more than 7, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I'll share some of mine, and you guys can pop in and unmute yourself and share some of yours if you want to. Probably a couple of my favorites are, I don't know about you, but I love rewards. I love being rewarded for doing my job. I don't get that at my job. I don't get bonuses. I don't even get a Christmas present, and it's a huge hospital. So, and It gets me out of the freaking house. Like, for real. I literally, for 4 years after I had Ty, did nothing. 0 things. Sat at home. So now I get to hang out with my friends and do fun things and have a great time. And guess what? Make money. So those are a couple of my favorites. So anybody else who wants to unmute themselves and pop in, let me
I will
know.
definitely share my favorites. The biggest one is time freedom for me. After coming from 6 years in the Navy, anytime I wanted time off, there had to be permission. And if there wasn't permission, there had to be a sick slip. And so for me, the fact that I get to choose my work hours is the biggest thing. And honestly, the next thing for me is the products, because you guys, I honest to God thought that I was going to have a baby and my abs were going to be there the next day. Honest to God, I was like, I'm going to pop back. Didn't happen. I promise you. Those are a couple of my favorites, but like she said, there's a lot of them, but I'll let some other people share in case I take yours from you.
The first thing I wrote down was friends, of course, because, you know, that's my favorite part. And then I said products too, Tracy, amazing products. And then I wrote down personal development / relationship with Christ. So both of those things are something that have, you know, greatly increased in my life since I started It Works. And then I said fun / travel. So I, you know, like Melissa said, sitting around at home, and now even if it's just going to Grand Rapids once a month, for me, that's, you know, just something to get out of the house and do. And then something to look forward to. Like, I'm a busybody, so for me to come home and sit home at night, I just am ornery. Like, but now I come home and, you know, I have to like time manage. So there's, you know, dinner time, and then there's time with the kids, and then there's something for me. And even if that's just talking to people and, you know, putting myself out there a little bit. So something to look forward to.
Love it. I love the personal development aspect too.
Yeah, when she said that, that was a big one for me too. I never read, like, ever. I've always done well in school, but I hated to read. Now I love to read, and the relationship with Christ thing really stuck with me too, because when I was little, my parents didn't take us to church. My grandmother did, and she passed away when I was in 6th grade. So we just stopped going. And it's never that I, you know, wasn't a Christian or anything like that, but I have not had anything organized in a while. And even just starting this business, the amount of God that is involved in that has really brought me back to that. So that's a huge one for me too. So thank you for bringing that up, Amber.
Jacqueline, Tish, Connie, Christy, what are you doing?
I was trying not to talk only because my allergies are like really, really bad. So I'm down really quickly. I said it was fun. It is. You all rock. Fun, friendly. The bonuses. I did say the products as well. I said helpful. Excuse me. You traveling. You meet people. Definitely the rap cash. And then when I said your time, I mean, like, you can, you know, you can do whatever. You can go to the store and sign a loyal, or sign a lawyer at an event, or you could just, it's on your own time. So it's not like you have to get up at 4:30 in the morning, sit in 2 hours of traffic, and then be there 8 hours, and then sit there for like 2.5 hours coming home. So you can do it whenever you see fit. And then I said, you party while you're earning cash. Like, who wouldn't? We all party, we all spend money, but with this company, you can party and earn cash at the same time.
Amen. I love that. That's so good. And you can't even tell you have your allergies. Thanks, Tish. What about you, Connie?
Sorry, Ava. Got Ava tonight too. Mine were the friendships. I've made a lot of new friendships and reconnected with some old friends, including Melissa. We lost contact for a while. And another thing is like the potential. Like you do this when I have time, or yeah, I have control of how often or how much I put into it. It's not like the 9-to-5 job where I have to be there on a schedule. I can do it more at my convenience.
Such a good point.
Something that nobody's mentioned yet that I want to make sure it gets mentioned just in case there's anybody that's brand new is tax write-offs. I wrote off so many things for my taxes, and I actually had a girl, she's not quite a Ruby, but she's close. She joined me a year ago in June, and when she did her taxes this year, she said, oh my gosh, she's like, you know, I was getting a little discouraged with my business, but I needed to let you know that I did my taxes, and this company did exactly what you said it would in a year. Like, you know, I've made more than $500 just from tax write-offs alone. So if you guys, you know, don't really understand, you can be writing off portions of your cell phone bill, you know, your t-shirts. Like, so when somebody says, hey, buy a shirt because it's going to help you blitz, it's going to help you get out there, even if you're shy, buy a shirt, because you're either paying taxes on your income or you're writing off a shirt. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me when people are like so against spending that little bit of extra money to get your business out there, because it's a tax write-off, you guys. So at the end of the year, you're going to see that money again.
You're so smart. I always forget that. And people really don't understand. My husband owns a construction business, and people really don't understand, like, you literally can write off so many things. And it is a huge blessing, especially, I just look at his business and how you have to have all these tools and all these ridiculous things. And we really don't have to have anything. I mean, you buy shirts for obvious reasons. You buy wraps for wrap cash. And then you use your auto ship to be a product of the product. And that's all a tax write-off, like all of it. So great point. What about you, Sherry or Vicky? Have you guys, what do you got on your list?
You want to go first? You want me to go first? Let me see here. I have the part that you can get the travel. You know, like I had the family come over from Germany. You know, they're here from Germany until Sunday, and they're taking some of my product back with them for them to try themselves. And then when I get there, you know, I can travel, and I've got plans to meet with. His name's Dennis. He's in Germany. I think you're friends with him on Facebook, Melissa. So, and he's only a half hour from where my grandparents live. So I'm hoping to meet up with him.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, I kind of Facebook stalked him. I'm not gonna lie, because I was trying to figure out who was over there. You know, I've been trying to figure that out. So that's what I have. Everybody else already listed what I have. So.
Yes, I put down the wrap cash, the flexibility. No, I don't want to stop being a teacher one day, but it's just nice knowing I can make some extra money, because teachers, we make millions of dollars, I tell you. Personal growth, like Amber, we talked about this a lot, like just, you know, for me to grow personally, going outside of my box, like the expo this Saturday, that's a big stepping outside my comfort zone. Friends, family, and the products, as you can see, we're wrapping those arms.
Awesome. Okay, unless anybody else wants to stick a couple of theirs, we'll get into the questions you guys had for us. Okay, so first question is actually, we both kind of got this one, and I think it's a good question because time management is a big deal, especially when you're busy and have other things to do. So Tracy, people want to know how you manage your time with everything else you got going on.
I'm going to be very, very honest with you guys. I personally don't think I'm a time management guru. However, I don't want you guys to be under the impression that I have it all together, but also that I'm completely all over the place, because I'm not. I do the same few things every single day, always at different times, always whenever I can fit it in. But it's funny because even doing this full time, chasing a toddler that grabs everything in 2 seconds, I feel like I don't have as much time. You know, people look at it and they're like, oh, well, you have all the time in the world. Yeah, maybe if I had a babysitter here, but I personally just know that if he's down for a nap, I need to pick up my phone and work my business. If, you know, his dad's home, which he is right now, I have a few minutes to pick up my phone and work my business. But the biggest thing is just knowing if you only have, say, 30 minutes a day to work this business, actually work the business. Don't do the busy work stuff. Like, people will tell me, oh, well, I only had 30 minutes. I couldn't get anything done. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes if you're focused on those things and not letting the outside distractions in. Because I can say I need to reach out to at least 3 people a day. I can reach out to those 3 people in 10 minutes. And I can actually have a conversation with them, even if it's just, you know, a quick, hey, are you ready to jump into this yet? What questions can I answer for you? Put the phone down. And then when you get the next 10 free minutes, pick the phone up and see if they message back. So although I really don't think there is such thing as a balance, I do think that there is such thing as time blocking. So if you say, hey, between 11:30 and noon of my lunch break, that's when I'm gonna work my business, actually work your business. Don't scroll through Facebook and start getting caught up in somebody's video and doing this and that. Like, actually have a list of what you're gonna accomplish in those 30 minutes and focus only on that. Don't let all these things like, oh, wait, who's pregnant? And then you're stopping, now you're stalking somebody's Facebook and you're not getting anything done. I think that the biggest mistake we make is just getting caught up in something that has nothing to do with our goal to accomplish. So that's really my advice for that is have a 6 list and know when your time block is going to be that you're going to work that.
Perfect. I totally get caught up in scrolling through Facebook and like seeing the funny videos, and I have to like focus and be like, this is not what I'm here for, not right now, you know, so I totally am guilty of that. Anybody have any questions for Tracy about her time management or what she does? How do you, with Ben, how do you like, you've like forced yourself to get out of the house and go do stuff, or like, I think people find it hard to like fit it into their daily life, but really it's so easy.
Right. So, like I was mentioning with my 6 list, one of the things on my list, as far as working my business, is I have to post at least 3 posts for my business, products wise, and then 1 or 2 business posts a day. And so I literally am not planning when I'm going to post that. Like, because I have the freedom to be home with Ben, I don't set up a buffer or anything like that. I literally post as I'm using the products, because I use the product. So when we have breakfast in the morning, if I'm taking a vitamin, I will take a picture of it and I'll put it on Facebook. And then the only way that I get out of the house, and I had to do this because, like you said, if I force myself, I am a homebody. I love staying home. And so it was kind of funny when you guys were talking about like the, you know, I do stuff now. I do stuff with the big events, and I like that stuff. I have fun with that stuff, but I like that I can stay home and wear sweats all day. So for me, I actually just recently joined like a mommy play group, so that I would get out of the house, because I have yet to expand here. I have 1 customer from San Antonio that's local that I met after moving here. But aside from that, I don't have anything. So that's what I did. I joined a mommy's group of stay-at-home moms, and it's just every week they have a new meetup of where they're going to go. And so my intention with that is it's getting me out of the house. So even if I'm not looking at them as potentials, I'm getting out in my gear. I wear gear every single day. So if I even leave the house just to go to the post office, I have gear on. People know that I do it works. My car has a sticker on it. Like, really, I don't, even if my mouth is closed, somebody knows I'm doing it works, because I make sure it's out there. I'm not afraid to wear gear. And even if I run into somebody at the post office and I never bring up my business, they know. I actually with Jesse, we went to this bounce house thing here in San Antonio, and a girl came up to me, and I was literally head to toe, and it worked. Even my keys, my lanyard had it worked, and I never said anything about the business, and she gave me her phone number just because I was a mom and I had a kid the same age as her, and I didn't even ask for her phone number. All I said was, I don't have a lot of friends here, and she said, oh, give me your phone, I'll put my number in. And I knew that I didn't need to say anything about it works. I knew that my clothes said it all, and she knew what I did because I said I stay at home full time. So I guess just, if you are a homebody like me, eventually you have to reach outside your comfort zone. You have to network outside of your friends, because this business is so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than, oh, well, my cousin bought from me and my sister bought from me and I had 2 friends order and I got my 4 customers and that's it. Because that's not it. Like, the potential in this company is completely unlimited.
I could not agree more. And I had something really good I was going to say, but I forgot what it was when you were talking. I should have wrote it down. Okay, so for me, because I work full-time nights and have 2 kids, one who is thankfully in school all day now, my life looks a little different than Tracy's. I would say I have to have something in front of me that tells me what I need to do. So I don't know if you guys can see. This is my 6 list, and you can see I've done most of it for today. But it is, let's see, adding to Instagram and Facebook, doing a daily devotional, checking in with groups, messaging 3 people, 1 product post, and 1 biz post, at least, which I tend to do more than those, but that's just my goal because I don't give myself goals that are way too high, especially days that I work. I barely function. So I need structure like that. And I feel like when Cami always talks about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, those are the things that fit into my life, or the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And if you don't know what the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 is, 1/3 of your time should be spent doing personal development. 1/3 of your time should be spent helping your team. Even if it's 1 person, if you just have 1 person, it's still a team, you're a team. And 1/3 of your time should be spent building new people. So messaging people and adding to Facebook and posting and all that business. So I need a structure because I get way off track and I get tired and I'd rather take a nap most of the time. But I know that in order for my business to grow, I have to do these things. So for me, that's a big thing, is a 6 list. And some people don't need that, and that's completely okay. Some people do really well with just go on the fly. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Okay, on this Zoom the other day, I don't know if you guys were all on Cammy's Zoom the other day. Maybe it was a diamond above Zoom. Anyways, she was talking about somebody, Sherilyn Akala, who is a ambassador. You guys should follow her if you don't. She's adorable. But this is what made me think of it, Tracy, when you said I post when I'm using the products. In nursing, like, if you don't chart something, it's not done. You can take the best care of this little baby that you've taken care of all night, and if something comes back 10 years from now that they're like, well, you didn't do this, and yeah, I did. I do that with every baby. Well, it's not charted, not done. So in Tracy's example, if people don't see you doing things with It Works, they don't know that you're doing it. Like today, I don't know if any of you saw my post about at the meetup and I got my BOGO wraps and all this crap. Nobody knows that kind of stuff, or how excited I am, or the stuff that I do to build my business every day. That's so easy like that unless I post it. So if you're using products, Sherry, take a picture of your arms, post that crap on Facebook, man. Do it. But people just don't know unless you're actually doing it. People don't know, like, I'm sitting on my couch messaging people about the business unless you actually post about it. So not posted, not done. People aren't going to know that you're actually building your business and working hard at it. So that's my little spiel with that. I was going to look. Anybody else want to add in some little nuggets of wisdom about time management that what helps them? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi, Lori.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Busy.
You are busy. How you get that customer signed up?
Yes, I did. Yay!
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you got that distributor the other day too, right?
And one today.
And one today. Holy crap. So you're telling me you got yourself a little entry into that drawing, huh?
No, I've got one entry.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm hoping by tomorrow I'll get another LC and have 2 entries.
Dude, that's awesome. Because if you guys think about it with these entries, what if only 100 people, what if, I mean, I doubt that's going to happen, but what if only 100 people get an entry? You're going to win. Like, that's insane. Those people a couple of years ago that won those $20,000, like that one lady had 1 entry. 1. That's it. You know, it's like insane.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. You're a little rock star. Nice work. Amber, you're busy. You're a teacher. You got small kids. Any little nuggets in there?
Yeah. So last school year, my 6 list was like crazy because it would say like, you know, before school, this is what I'm gonna do, and then this is my first break is at 9 o'clock or whatever. I have to do this during my prep time, and then this is my 40-minute lunch. I've got to squeeze this in, and after school I'm gonna do this, and before I go to bed. But now that I am using Buffer, that's helping me out a lot. So I will sit down every night before I go to bed and plan out my posts for the next day, and sometimes the next 2 or 3 days, just depending on how busy I'm going to be. And so that alleviates a lot of time for me, because when it becomes my prep time or my lunchtime or whatever, then I can spend that time contacting instead of making those posts. So, and it's nice too, because when I sit down and do them all at once like that, I'm really able to like think about, okay, this is a product post, then I made a business post, now I made a like something about my personal life, something uplifting, something humorous, so I can kind of like really gauge what kind of interaction I'm going to have on my Facebook that way too.
That's so smart. I forgot all about that. If you guys really want to save some time, really look at like Buffer or one of those. There's a bunch of different apps that you can like auto post with. That saves me so much time, because I do not have the time. Sometimes I just like, I'm so flighty during the day. Like I'm like, oh, I should have posted about that. But if you do that, sometimes like when I work 3 nights in a row, like I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep if I'm lucky, go get my kids, get them dinner, and then I have to leave, Maybe I'll fit a workout and like dinner in there for myself. But so I don't have time to post. Now, the only thing I will say with those is they don't automatically post to Instagram, which kind of sucks. It just reminds you to do it. But hey, posting is posting, and at least you get something out there, because like I said, not posted, not done. So excellent point, Amber. I forgot all about that. Love Buffer. I think Christy uses Hootsuite and she loves that. So what about you, crazy rap lady? You're busy. Tell us about you. I got you.
Okay. I think it's on.
You're unmuted.
I'm not muted. Okay. Everything is good. Everything is fantastic. Trying to stay busy. More focused on my team than anybody else.
So how do you just had that event last weekend, how do you fit that kind of stuff into your busy life? Because I know you guys travel kind of a lot. So, and you have, your kids and your hubby too. So how do you kind of fit all that kind of stuff in?
With the events? Well, first of all, we live and breathe the events, because that's one of the biggest money makers for such a low price when you get 2 or 3 distributors together. But there's so many events that are coming up for the fall festivals that we're crushing it, and we sign up for our events a year in advance, so some of these events we're like, this is our 5th year, and we pay so far in advance that no other distributors have an opportunity, because we dominate the events more than anything. So even if you don't have the time to go out and blitz, you can get hundreds and hundreds of cards out in just the events alone. But if you stop and go to events for, Virginia events, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them that you can lock in way before you're even close to coming up. So even if you don't, get out and blitz every day, when you're crushing it with events, you make a name for yourself because you come in as the top dog. You're the show, you know. So the events for us, we crush it.
That's such a good point, about not blitzing every day, but doing events like that. So we could do a whole Zoom on events, but we don't got time for that today. But you guys do crush it. You guys have so much fun, and there's so much power in getting 2 or 3 or 4 distributors there, because then other people see how fun it is, and it's not you just sitting there by yourself looking all lonely, you know. So there's a lot of power in that. So you are so right. Trying to look for, the other questions. So Tracy, I want to know, this is the question, I want to know how she gets people to sign as a DT. I have the hardest time finding someone who wants to commit.
Okay, so for me, everyone is a potential distributor. I don't know, it's got to be from just my personal experience, because like I said, I was asked 6 different times by 3 different people to do this business, and every single one of them got stopped right away. Like every single person approached me either with, have you heard of it works, or have you heard of that crazy rap thing? It was literally the same line for all 6 people, one of those 2 things. And every single time I said, yes, I've heard of it, no, I'm not interested. And it would stop right there. The one person that it got past that was the very first person. And like I said, I did the military for 6 years, so I was in the military, and she said, but I mean, with you being military, you know, you're all about health and wellness, right? Like, why not make a little extra money? And I literally was like, I don't need the products. I don't need the money. I'm fine. And she said, okay, well, if you ever decide to do this, let me know. And I did. I actually went back to that very first person that asked me, 3.5 years later when I decided to look into it. And she told me she had quit. And I asked her why. And she said, I wanted more time with my family. Which is so funny to me now being in the business. But she was making $1,000 a month, you guys, and she quit. So it's funny to me. But so now in my business, I approach everyone about the business first. And because I was that person that was a total skeptic that would tell them no, and then that was the end of it. Like I said, she was the only one that went past my no. So now when I get the no's, I always say, can I ask why? Always. I never just leave it at no. I never say, oh, okay, well, thanks for responding. I always ask why. And they don't always tell me, but I'm just now getting in the habit of, if they say no to a distributor, and I've already asked why, and we've gotten into it, and I can tell it's just not their time, then I'll switch to customer. But I never approach anyone as a customer. So I guess that would be my biggest tip to you guys, is you got to get over the prejudgment, because I even still do it. I did it to Amber Simon. She's obviously not on my team, and she absolutely would have been on my list. Amber Simon has all the qualities I look for in somebody that I want on my team. I didn't ask her because one of the people that asked me was a friend of Amber's. And so in my head, I said, oh, I know for sure she's been asked. I'm not going to ask her. So I guess my biggest advice is everybody's a potential distributor. So when you think, oh, so-and-so would love this as a product, always approach them as a distributor first, even if it does turn into just a customer. I always say, if somebody's interested in trying the products, I will always turn it around and say, well, why not just try them and maybe make a little money? And if they tell me, oh, well, I don't have the $99, or, I just rather would try the products first, because I don't want to sell something I can't get behind type thing, I still will bring up, but why not just sign as a distributor? Because it's a one-time thing. You don't have an obligation of an auto shipment. You don't have to do that. You could always sign up with your business kit and say you get the wraps and you absolutely hated them and you think there's no way I can get behind this. There's not a fee to cancel if you don't want to work the business, but then you have a full year from that $199 payment to decide you want to jump in and do this. So I really just pushed the business because I signed up to use the products, but I bought the business kit. I never started as a loyal customer. I saw the value in, well, if these work, I'm just going to be able to run with it. I'll already have my license to sell. So I make sure people know that, like, yeah, you can sign up and you can be a loyal customer for me if you really think you have zero interest. But if you have any interest at all and think if this works, I will tell people, you might as well just buy a business kit. And so that's really been my approach from the beginning. And most months I feel like I sign distributors better than I sign customers, but when it all comes down to it at the end of the year, it averages out. And some will come distributors, some will become customers, but that would be my greatest advice is if you struggle with distributors, make sure that you're approaching everyone with the distributorship first. Don't just be like, oh, well, be my product tester for 90 days. Make sure they're aware of the opportunity before they sign as a loyal customer, because they might have that interest and you're already pre-qualifying them as they wouldn't want to do this.
That's so true. And most people, don't know that unless they don't pay attention to your Facebook, that $99, like if you want a box of wraps, it's $40 more to maybe make some income. So that's a really good idea to just say, just in case you didn't know, this isn't that. That's such a great idea. And I also want to stress to, especially most of the new people, like it's not going to happen overnight. I know there's ambassadors, people going ambassador in 5 minutes. That's not real life. Like that is insane. And this is a business and you have to kind of treat it that way. And I really just want to stress to everybody that you have to look at the long term of this business. You have to look at where do you see yourself? In 5 years, I see myself as an ambassador and making a crap load of money and not making that much money at my nursing job that I've been at for 8 years, working my butt off nights for 8 years. So, you have to look at the long term, not, oh, I missed my Ruby bonus. You didn't sign up in the company for a Ruby bonus. Like, really, you didn't. You signed up to make some extra income. If you're making 60, 80, 300 extra dollars a month, that's 60, 80, 300 extra dollars that you didn't have before. And you can spend on products that if you want, or you could pay for your gas or your groceries. So I just have come so far in this business because of personal development to look at the bright side of things. Like, I could still be just working my job, working overtime all the time, just so we could kind of get ahead and do fun things. But I don't have to anymore because of this. Now, partly that's because of the awesome team we have, but partly that's because I put in a lot of work, and you have to. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but I'm going to go there because I think it needs to be said. I've recently had so many people saying to me, well, I'm not going to be that annoying person on Facebook that bugs all my friends. First of all, if your friends think that you're bugging them, they're not really your friends. I try in my heart always to support small businesses because I, am part of one, but they're not really your friends if they think you're annoying and bugging them. Secondly, I've had people telling me about how they're just really discouraged and they're thinking about stepping down. And so this is what I say to them, because I've had people say this to me. When's the last time you wrapped somebody? When's the last time you've had a party? When's the last time you've asked for help from me? And what personal development book are you reading? Because all of those things make a difference. I promise you. All of the leaders in this company will tell you the exact same thing. And there is just no other way to get around that. I don't say it to be mean, but wrap cash is a big thing. When's the last time you wrapped somebody? When's the last time you've been to an event? Or even just like got on a Zoom or a team call or the corporate call. Any of that will make you feel so much better. I know that as soon as I go to a one team, one mission, my head is so much more back in the game and I'm so much like, gosh, this business is awesome. These people are awesome. Being around these people are awesome, So again, I'm off on a tangent off of the whole distributor thing, but
I think you're on the right track though, because when you said it doesn't happen overnight, I want to clarify. I did move quickly, but you guys, I was putting the work in, and it wasn't happening overnight because I asked over 100 people before I got my first LC. Like legit, there was over 100 no's before I got my first yes. And also, when it comes to me talking about, bringing up the distributorship and asking all these questions as to why they wouldn't want to do it, I'm not afraid of the no, and I'm not afraid to be ignored, and I'm not afraid to follow up after that happens. Because I know there's a lot of people that went, oh, I don't want to annoy them, and so they stop, like she said. I had a girl that I knew would rock a business like this. Her personality is just like so infectious and positive, and I approached her about the business right away. Overly excited, she ignored my message. And then a new promotion came out, and I approached her again, and it was probably only a week or two later, she ignored me again. And then I kind of went, okay, well, maybe she's just really not into the business. So then I approached her as a customer, but still followed with at the end, even though I'd love for you to be in this business with me, maybe a product is where you want to start. And after the third time of her ignoring me, she ended up messaging me 2 days after the third message and said, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, do what? And she goes, I'll be a distributor on your team. She asked no questions, and I was like, what? And I mean, this was at least a month after my initial reach out. Well, then she joined. She did nothing for her first 23 days or so. And then in the last week, she's busting her ass to get her 4 loyals, barely gets her 4 loyals, and then did nothing for 6 months. And then all of a sudden it clicked, and she ran with it. So like when she's talking about people quitting and stuff like that, or how do I get people to be a distributor, or I get a distributor, but then nobody wants to do anything. It's not up to you to decide when they turn that on, when they decide to see the potential and run. It's really up to you. And you also have to remember, how long did it take you to decide? Because I look at myself in this and I say, I said no for 3.5 years. And then I decided and I ran with it. And had that person that asked me 3.5 years ago still been in this business, she would have been like, holy shit, all of a sudden, 3 months ago, she wasn't even on my radar. And now I've got a freaking diamond underneath. Like, you don't know when people are going to come around and decide, like, this is for me. So keep that in mind every time you think, oh, you know what, maybe this business isn't for me. You don't know if you're going to all of a sudden quit the business, and then that person that you just were dreaming to be on your team signs up with somebody else because you quit. You have to keep that in the back of your head, just because you never know. And like Melissa said, 5 years from now, she's going to be an ambassador. Like, I know that in my heart, that in the next 5 years, I'm going to be an ambassador. So I don't know who's going to come into my business and make it happen, but I know it's going to happen. So just keep that in mind.
Totally can agree with you more. People say all the time, well, this person isn't working and this person isn't doing that. Dude, I've had so many people quit. Like, just move on. Or, I've been talking to this girl and she won't respond to me. Move on. She'll respond to you. Send her a message every once in a month. Just move on. Like, it's really going to be okay. It's God's timing. He's going to bring people into your business when he thinks it's fit. Really just, it's okay when people quit. I have a person on my team who actively kind of works sometimes, who's this close to diamond, this close, and just doesn't do anything. So, you don't know what people's situations are, or their home life, or what the heck's going on in their head. So just move on to the next person. It's going to be okay. I promise. Hey, Lori, you've been signing people up. What's going on? How you closing them? Hold on. Let me unmute you.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I kind of went, I have to confess, I went into a slump. I would say up until this past weekend. If you noticed, I haven't been on Zooms for 2 weeks. Plus, I have some other things we had going on here. And then when I saw the promotion, I have to ashamedly say the 10,000 reasons that you should be working hard, that just lit a fire under me. I said, that's it. I got to get off my butt. But don't mistake, I was not ever saying, oh, I don't want to do this, or I'm not going to do this. I do enjoy our Zooms, and I've learned a lot, and I enjoy the Facebooking. Although that's a lot for me, because I'm not y'all's generation, so I wasn't born with the phone in my hand, and knowing, not all that stuff. I've been learning, and thank God I have Lori to help me. She's been helping me a lot. Yeah. So, and sometimes I do things maybe on Facebook just because it might not be, just laugh because I'm learning. I don't know what I'm doing, but trying. So, I'm pretty decent at the face-to-face stuff. I can't wait for festivals and all of that to begin because, well, I just need to get signed up. I've got to get some things in order and sign up for them. I'm signed up for June with Lori, but that's too far away. I need to get into a bunch of things now. I've got my table ready, for displays, and I feel comfortable talking with people, so that's not a problem for me. And I do cut hair, so I meet people, so that helps as well.
Right.
Although they've told us they don't share that with people, but we do. But anyway, it is. I'm just hitting everybody I know. And tomorrow I have to go for my mammogram. Woohoo! And I'm planning on blitzing the hospital.
That's awesome. But see, that is the greatest point ever. You just said, I have to admit that promotion lit a fire under me. Don't be ashamed of that. That's awesome. And that's what Tracy was trying to say. You never know when that person is just going to be like, I'm doing this. I'm going to.
It's easy to get your loyals, the 4 loyals or whatever, and you think, oh, I can sit back. And I work Monday through Wednesday, and those days are hard. I'm gone 13 hours, those days. And then I come have animals to take care of. So there's no time. So Thursday and Friday, I really try to go out there and do stuff. But it's easy to get sidetracked, with something else or other things or whatever. And I thought, I've just got to keep focusing. And that's a big thing. Focus, focus, focus. I had to go to the dentist today, so I was blitzing there, and I was talking to the dentist. Well, actually, I had to wait for them to come back in the room, and I had my phone on, and I was listening to motivational speakers. So when the dentist came back in, he said, oh, what are you doing? And I told him, which of course got me back into It Works with him. Well, then he gave me a great book to go get, and so I still have to do that. That's on my list. The guy is Collins, and I remember the name of the book. I have it in my pants pocket upstairs. I can't write it down. He wrote it for me. It might be Good to Great, something like that. And he said it would help, with marketing and with the corporate world. And I said, he said, well, what are you listening to now? The motivational speaker was talking about focus, and that's what made him think of this book. And he said, it's a very good book. I just keep trying to plug away in all the areas that I can and still trying to get people. That's the best. That's all you can do.
And you're rocking it, man. That's awesome.
Try it.
Okay.
Melissa, I don't want to spend too long on the topic, but at the same time, I know that this is a big thing for my team too, even though there's not a lot on here about this getting distributors. And I want to say also, I know Dr. Don always says you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and vice versa. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. However, I think you can in a sense. And what I mean by that is less is more. I just showed my team a couple weeks ago. I did a live video on what It Works has done for me. And a guy popped up on my live feed and says, I'm interested. Now, this is somebody that when I saw the comment during the live video, I went, oh, I've never reached out to him. And so immediately after my video, I clicked to send a message, and I literally started to type, have you heard of It Works before? And I see this message like this long where I had reached out to him in the beginning of my business. And literally, you guys, I gave every detail there was to give about being a distributor. And when I saw that, I went, oh my God, did I really do this to that guy? And then after my big, 4-paragraph message, I said, oh, were you not interested, or did I offend you? And he said, oh no, you didn't offend me. And that was the end of the conversation. And so I just want to say, if you're approaching people and saying things like, hey, I was wondering if you've heard of It Works and if you might want to do this with me. It's a health and wellness company and you can make X amount of dollars. Maybe you're looking for $200-$300. Don't say all that. Start very, very small. And I try to never ask more than 2 questions in one message. And obviously always end in a question. We talk about that a lot. So I'm sure you guys hear that a lot too, but just keep it very simple. Think about, they know nothing about this business, but don't answer a question that they haven't asked, because all it's going to do is confuse them. So that's another big thing I wanted to make sure was mentioned. Yes, approach them about being a distributor, but you don't need to go into how much they're going to make and all this in your initial message.
Such a great point. If you guys are super unsure, just always screenshot us. We I'll do screenshot all day. Like I still send screenshots to Cami. I was doing it today at our team or at our meetup thing in Grand Rapids. I was like, okay, here, gave her my phone, and she would either voice text it or, tell me what to say. But, I do it all the time. I've been in this business a year and a half. I don't know anything, I don't know anything. I don't know it all. So it's really okay. Hey, let me, in this group, I'm going to put in the chat. Most of our team has it in the, in our group, but this is a really good script for people that you have added to Instagram or added to Facebook and you have been liking and commenting on all of their stuff. Really good script to send them, especially right now with that drawing going on. Sorry, it's not like spaced out or anything, but copy that, put it in your crap. It's a good one.
Yeah, and I don't know if anything that you do hasn't already been said, but obviously you did get that question as well, of how do you seal the deal with a distributor or a potential distributor on the fence, I guess. I just try and be real with them. All day today I was sending messages about being a distributor to people because I want my entry too, and I always ask why too. If they say no, I always address so Ashley, Walmart, and I always talk about feel, felt, found. And so if somebody says to you, like, I'll just read a message that was sent out today so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So the girl says, okay, so she told me, I have to tell you this because it's freaking awesome. And I was asking her the other day if she is taking pictures with her wraps because she told me she had bought 8 boxes of BOGO wraps. And I was like, I freaking love you, But she's like, I forgot to after the last one, but you start back up with my pictures tomorrow. I will say that I have been dieting for a while and slowly losing weight, but right after I did my first wrap, my mom told me I looked like I lost 10 pounds over the weekend. Kelvin told me, her boyfriend, I looked like I lost 20 pounds. He said, whatever you're doing, it's working. And I just had someone else ask me what I'm doing to lose weight so fast. Personally, I don't see it much, but it must be doing something. By the way, none of them even know that I'm doing the wraps, not even Kelvin. And I was like, ding, you need to be a distributor. First of all, that's just awesome because duh, it works. But so today I said to her, okay, so obviously I can't stop thinking about you and your story. You have these amazing results. Have you ever thought about doing what I do and making some money instead of just spending it? She said, not really. I feel like I already work more than I like to right now. I'm constantly on overtime and I don't really want to take on other commitments. Plus, to be honest, if I made more, I'd just waste more, LOL. And so I said, starting with the feel and the felt, oh my gosh, I felt exactly the same way when I first started. I was working overtime nights and had a brand new baby. And here's the thing. So now I'm at this is what I found part. I essentially get paid for being on social media and texting. Isn't that insane? I'm doing this business to stop working nights and I've already stopped working overtime. So what are your thoughts? So, and of course she's like, well, I still don't know. And I said, why? And she hasn't answered me, but we'll get back to that. Anyways, so feel, felt, found. What they feel, you have to address them. You have to address their needs, because if you're just talking about me, I want you on my team, they're going to be like, whatever, I don't care. Feel, felt, found. Why do they feel this way? What you felt when you started, or what if you had the same feelings, and then what kind of happened and why where you're at. Does that make sense? Yeah, and actually brings me back to another point of what a selfish world we live in, and we know we're all a little selfish. And like what she's saying with the feel, felt, found, even if you're not using that, very, very small changes in your messages can make or break the message. When you reach out to somebody and you say, I want you on my team, when you are saying I want instead of like, would you be interested, it's a huge difference. Like, you can tell them I want you on my team, but you need to make sure that you're also addressing why you want it for them, because it is about them. It's not about you. And we all make the mistake of saying, like, I'm going for this bonus, I want you on my team. But you really need to think about how that might come off to them, because they're not just a name in a box. They're a person, and the whole point of this is to help others be successful. So the smallest things, you don't even realize you're doing it. Because I know I used to do it, oh my gosh, I want diamond. And so you're going up to these people and you're like, oh, you'd be good at this. I want you to do this with me. But they might be focused on that, like, okay, cool, but what about what I want? So that's why you have to ask the question, like, would you like to make extra money? I would like to help you. and not make it about what you want for your promotion.
Totally agreed. Okay, I don't want to keep this on for longer than an hour. We're kind of already there. So anybody have any closing remarks, closing questions, anything you want to say? Like, Marissa, you haven't said anything. What you doing over there? What's your facial? She's not even paying attention to me.
I am.
Okay.
My daughter's just really crabby, so I haven't said anything.
Okay. Any closing remarks about anything? Christy, Amber, Dolores, Connie. What about you, Jacqueline? What do you think about all this business? You're like brand new, sister.
It's so far.
You're doing awesome. Your posts are awesome.
Thanks.
Do you have any burning questions? Have we answered them?
I do.
Yeah,
Oh, what's up?
like person.
Well, you have to talk louder. I can't hear you.
I think you answered my
Oh,
question.
good. What's
I
up?
have a question. Okay, for you, Melissa, because you are in the medical field, and I want to know, how do you, or even do you blitz people at your job? Do you talk to the patients? I mean, you have access to so many varieties of people every day. How do you incorporate your business with It Works with a job that, I mean, where you have so many people around you? Can you do that? Or are you on the hush hush?
Well, my coworkers, obviously, we're all Facebook friends. They know, and the majority of them are my customers, and I'm working on one of them, actually my very best friend at work right now, to be a distributor. I'm like, it's time, girl, just do it. Anyways, I cannot talk to the patients about it when they're there. However, most of them, because they all love me, friend requests me afterwards, and because they can't do it while we're in the hospital because of HIPAA and all that kind of stuff, privacy. So then anybody that likes my stuff, I'm messaging you. Unless you're a distributor. So fair game. That's what I say. If you're gonna like it, I don't care if you didn't read it and you just like my picture, I'm gonna message you. And so I have messaged them, and there are 2 parents that have been on the fence about buying wraps, and that I message at least once a week or every couple of weeks, because I'm not really pushy like that. But otherwise, there are a lot of people in my hospital where I make sure our last names are on our badges, which I hate for patient-wise because I don't want you to know my last name. Right. But I love for me because I'm like, oh, I like you. I'm going to add you to my Facebook. I'm going to write your name down. So I start building relationships. I've built relationships that way.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I went to visit my niece in the hospital, and she had her baby like maybe 4 or 5 hours earlier. And I went in there, and the nurse walked in to take the baby to go get her weighed. And I said, oh, I'm busted. I was putting a blitz card up here for you. And within, I'm going to say maybe 7 minutes, her blouse was up and her pants were down. And I was immediately wrapping her, and Lillian is over here trying to find the nipple to put the baby's mouth on. We're like, be quiet, keep her quiet, we're busy. And she bought 2 wraps. Her husband's a air marshal for a local, for an airline. And it was amazing. And I thought, as much as people say that we're saturated, that's a lie. Because there's so many people and so many areas that are untouched, especially when you get into the hospital and you're going to visit somebody. Unfortunately, most people are not well, but when you have a baby, it's open season, man. It's going down.
It's hilarious. Be quiet over there. No, my favorite thing to use when people say to me, it's saturated, everybody uses it, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I always bring up social media. Social media is humongous. If you look at the stats, there's freaking hundreds of thousands of people joining Instagram every day. Second of all, this is my biggest thing that I always tell people and always tell people to tell people. There are 3 black diamonds in the Grand Rapids area. 3. And they're like, well, what's a black diamond? Well, obviously we all know what that is. there are still people that I'm like, hey, have you ever gotten one of these with a Blitz card? Or if I talk about it, or they'll be like, it works. What works? And I'm like, you heard of it works? And they're like, no. How is that possible if we're so saturated? We're not. You just have to get the word out there, and you have to realize that just because 3 of your Facebook friends sell it works doesn't mean the entire world does, you know?
Exactly.
Okay. Anybody else really quick? We've been on for quite a while.
I'm glad she said something about the air marshal because that gave me an idea that I'm going to order some more Blitz cards and take them with me and shove them in the plane seats.
Dude,
Yep.
you should staple some greens on the go to them.
Yep, and that's what I'm going to do.
It's a great idea.
Yep.
All right, guys.
We have one thing Lori actually brought by Lori talking about the nurses at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Lori's do this too. Because our cars have our advertisement on it. I park, because I work at a jail, so I park my car to the point where people go to court all the time. So I park my car and I usually back in. I like to back in so that that way I can just pull out. But when I'm at work, I actually pull in so people can see the back of my car. And I do get phone calls. I've sold wraps like on a low in front of my job. But it's very important to have your advertisement on your vehicle because no one is going to know what you do. And if you do go to work, park your car to where there's a lot of traffic going because they don't know. They don't. And I mean, that's just my thing. That's just what I always wanted to say, just kind of like, you know, just have some kind of traffic while you're at work, because clearly you can't go or do anything while you're at work. When I work with the officers, and I hear them say all the time, because they work 12-hour shifts. I'm like, oh, you tired? Okay, hold on, I got something for you. So I'll give them examples of the greens, of course, asking them if they're on any blood thinners, and if not, then, you know, I have a fridge in my office. I give them water, and then the berry green, shake it up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is nice." But I'm trying to get them to like sign on to become a loyal, so then that way they can just go ahead and, you know, just order the greens instead of drinking coffee, because they just they're coffee drinkers, and they just cannot stand the smell of coffee anyway. So. But I just wanted to stress the fact of how important it is to have the advertisement on your car, and to actually park your car somewhere where there's a flow of traffic and people can see it.
So smart. You're so right. And yeah, those coffee drinkers, I tell you what, they're crazy. At my work, it's like 6 cups a dang night, and I'm like, come on, guys. All right. Anybody else?
So Lori was talking about the saturation and how much it's supposed to be out there, but I also work in a medical facility, and so many people don't know what it is to be wrapping. Like, I'll come to work and I'm like, I'm good, today's gonna be a great day, I'm wrapped, and they're like, you did what? So I'm telling them about it, and nobody knows, like, they don't get it. And I've got a couple of my coworkers to do it, but they're not using them. I'm like, do you realize you guys like got the BOGOs? I started back in April, and the very first BOGO we did, they grabbed the wraps, and they're still sitting on them. And I'm like, but you guys got to use them because, like, they're so great. And I've been posting my progress and stuff, which has been, I think, really great. And they'll message me about it and be like, hey, you know, like, I've seen it, and it's great. But then they're not using what they've already have. How do you get them to, like, use what they've already purchased for them to get into it more?
Well, maybe what you could do is say, hey, I'm wrapping today. How about you want to wrap with me? Or you want me to come over and I'll wrap you and you can see it, or things like that. Hey, do it once a week. Put a reminder in your phone. I think the biggest thing is, like, I really stress to people, please do not waste your money on my products if you are going to not do what you are supposed to with it, because you're going to give me a bad name, you're going to give It Works a bad name, and you're going to be wasting your money. So that's what I always say. Don't buy it from me unless you're going to actually use it, because I promise you it works. You know, you've seen Mike Patillo's thing on Facebook about 16 years, 21 countries. Obviously it works, whatever. But don't waste your money. So to those people, honestly, maybe just say, hey, you want a wrap date? You want me to come over and we can do it together and I can show you and I can take your pictures or whatever. Maybe just share that.
Okay, I can definitely try it. See if like I can do it with them and get them to try to do it too, on the same days. I have another one who tried the Fat Fighters, and she's like, it gives me gas. I stopped using it, and I'm like, I guess I haven't ran into that before, but I'm trying to encourage her to use it more. She's using the ThermoFit, but she's also the one that's got the wraps and the defining gel, and she's got the Fat Fighters and everything, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to do it, but then she doesn't do it. And I will remind her, like, hey, she's like, I'm getting tired. I'm like, but did you take your ThermoFits? Or, you know, like, have you used your Fat Fighters today? And she'd be like, oh, yeah, they're in my car, but I haven't used them. And so, like, I'll take mine and be like, hey, I took my ThermoFits. Did you use this morning? And she'll, you know, it's almost like she's good with it, but then, like, when it comes down to, like, doing it and using it, she's kind of, like, put off by it.
Yeah, and I would just maybe just to start.
Is that your friend?
Just to start, maybe just like I said, like doing it with her so she sees how easy it is. But with the gas thing, if you ever hear people say that again, just tell them to drink. They have to drink more water. Even if they've done their 8 glasses, maybe they just need more. Like I'm a bigger, taller person. I need more than 8 glasses of water a day. So always push the water. Always, always, always push the water. Okay, guys, it's been a little over. Sorry, didn't mean to keep you on this late, but I think this was awesome. Thanks, Tracy, and your guys' team. You guys are awesome, and thanks, everybody. It was fun.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.